A very warm welcome to all of you. I am Milind Thakare from S.V.K.T College, Devali Camp, Nasik. Today we are going to go through short story. Short story as a form of literature. Short story is one of the form of fiction. Short story is short. It has one plot. In a short story, there is only one theme compared to a novel. There is a difference between short story and a novel. A novel has more than 40,000 words and a short story has around 2 to 3,000 words. In a novel, there are plots, subplots, but in short story, there is only one main plot. And the characters are very few. But in the novel, there may be lot of characters. For example, in the novel War and Peace, there are more than 250 characters in the novel. Short story has only one theme in the story. And short story can be read in one sitting. You can read it in one sitting. Compared to novel, novel needs lot of time to read and you cannot read a novel in one sitting. We are going to see a short story, The Gift of Magi, by O. Henry. Actually, his name was William Sidney Porter, who was from North Carolina. He is well known for short stories. All the short stories of O. Henry has a climax. There is unexpected ending in his novels. He is famous for it. Historical context of the Gift of Magi. The setting of the Gift of Magi, it is in New York City. And the time is around 1906. There was Christmas Eve. The story begins on the Christmas Eve. There are two main characters, Della and Jim. When the story opens, we see that Della is lamenting because Christmas Eve had just begun and she wants to gift her husband something different, but she has only $1.87, which she has saved from groceries, butcher, and vegetable man. She is crying, and then the another character is also introduced. Jim Dillingham Young. There is a description of their apartment. Through the description, we can notice that it is very cheap and they had to pay $8 a rent per week. Della, she stops crying because she wants to gift Jim a Christmas present worthy of her husband. Then she's standing in front of the mirror and she suddenly remembers that she sees that her hair, which are very beautiful, she thinks that she can buy a gift. She sees a ray of hope in her hair, long hair. So she has a long brown hair that fell below her knees, and that was a gift for her. It was the prized possession, as Jim also had a prized possession of gold chain, which was passed down to him from his grandfather. And Della then runs on the downstairs. She goes to the street and she finds a hair shop which is run by Madam Sofroni. Then after exchanging, Madam Sofroni, she sees her hair. She is very practical. She knows the value of the long hair and she buys the hair for $20. Now on the other side, simultaneously, Jim is also thinking of giving a gift to his wife Della. Della then, while shopping, she comes across a gold chain for Jim's watch, and she thinks that it would, compared to Jim's personality, it fits him perfectly. Which was, the gold chain was very quiet, it was very valuable. Then Della returns home. She is waiting for her husband. She wants to surprise him. Now when Jim enters the door, he is shocked by Della's short hair. He couldn't believe. When Della tells him that she wanted to give him a gift which she couldn't afford, so she sold her hair. She tries to convince him that she will have her long hairs soon, they will grow up. But Jim is he is continuously staring at her. Then finally, Jim too reveals his gift. He throws the package on the table. And when Della opens the package, she is also very shocked to see that there is the beautiful tortoise shell combs. Now, Della is very shocked. And then she too offers him the gift. When Jim unwraps the gift, he finds that it's a gold chain. But Della sees that Jim is not wearing the watch. And whatever gifts they have brought for each other, it is of no use for both of them, because Della has already sold her hair and Jim couldn't use the gold chain as he has sold his watch. And after that, both of them sit and they decide to have a dinner. So this is the plot structure. This was the wise gifts. The narrator, who is also the main character in this short story, he tells that both of them were wise people. Even if they didn't have anything, they have still gifted each other a present. And he compares them to the Magi. And he says at the end that of all who give gifts, Della and Jim were the wisest. And the story ends. In this short story, there are 4 characters: Della Dillingham Young, Jim, Madame Sofroni, and the narrator too. He is also the main character. But the main 2 characters are Della and Jim. Della is a young housewife. Though her husband is poor, they both are still happy with each other. Jim, who doesn't have a good job, finds it difficult to run the house, to support himself and his wife. Della and Jim both live in the small apartment in New York. As we read the story, we come to know that Della has saved some money in order to buy a gift to Jim. And she is very unhappy when she sees that she has just got $1.18. She wanted to buy him a rich gift. And she knew that she knew Jim's worth. And so she is ready to sacrifice her hair, which she sells to Madame Sofroni, who owns the hair shop. She sells her hair for $20. She is also very sad when she thinks that Jim loved her long hair very much, but now she has short hair. Will he love the same way? Della, she is the main protagonist in the short story. Next character is Jim, who is very quiet, He is only 21 years old. He is good natured person. He is very thin, always serious looking. But he is troubled by poverty. But that doesn't affect them. Both are happy and have a loving relationship with each other. Even if they are staying in a apartment which is very cheap, still they have turned it into warmth and hope, the apartment. He works hard for a minimal wage. And Jim, he also wants to gift Dela. He is also ready to sacrifice his golden watch to buy a beautiful set of combs for Dela's hair. Now, Dela buys him a gold chain for his watch, and Jim buys a beautiful set of combs for her hair. One can see that both of them have sold their prized possessions, whatever they had. It shows their love. Rather than using the money of selling the watch, he has brought a gift. He brought something practical. He didn't think about himself. Then there is next character, Madam Sofroni, who is running a hair shop. She too is very practical, and she just has a monetary value for her hair. She knows the worth of Dela's hair. And next character is the narrator. The narrator does not appear as a character in the story, but he's there every time. So these are the characters. The theme. Love, there is love theme. Then there is a sacrifice. There is beauty, value, and generosity. The story revolves around Jim and Dela. And through these stories, we can find the theme of love, the love relationship between the husband and wife, between Dela and Jim. Dela's main concern was to offer a gift to her husband anyhow, but she did not have enough money to buy him a present. So, for the sake of love towards her husband, she sold her lovely long hair. Jim too, which he had a possession, which he had a gold watch, he also sold his. He did not think anything. He did not buy for himself anything. he brought a set of combs. And even if at the end, as O. Henry's stories have the twisting quality, when both of them gift each other the present, they realize that the gifts were worthless. So, the gift had no worth at that time. But both of them had done, love can be seen. A true love. They did not think about themselves. The next theme in the story is about the sacrifice. At the beginning of the story, we are told that their only prized possessions of Jim and Della were long hair and golden watch. To overcome their poverty and give each other a good gift, both of them had sacrificed their prized possessions, and which they had valued the most. At the end of the story, both of the gifts, presents, are worthless, are useless. But we can see the sacrifice. Beauty is the theme. It's a inner beauty and value with outside appearances. Then there is the value. As the story is about Della and Jim, who does not have lot of material possessions, the story, when it begins, it focuses on the poverty. The description of the apartment itself talks about the cheapness they are living. There is a shabby couch. There is lack of mirrors. It is just a $8 flat. The doorbell is broken. Despite this, their poverty doesn't affect their relationship. And the emotional value of having each other to gift and expensive things itself talks about the value. Even if they are lack of wealth. So this question is about the material life and inner value. There is, if we see through material, they have brought, it is useless, but the inner beauty can be seen, inner value can be seen. They did not think about themselves. Then there is the theme of generosity. Della, she was very generous. She had only the beautiful long hair. She didn't think about her hairs also. And she only thought about her loving husband. Gifting a gold chain to her husband, she could not afford. It was expensive, but still, for the sake of his love, to gift something worth, she sold her hair. The same thing Jim's commitment towards Della can be seen. He also didn't think about anything. The golden watch, which was the only possession he had got from his grandfather, he sold it. And these are the themes which can be seen. Now there are the symbols. Della's hair and also Jim's gold watch. Della's hair and Jim's gold watch both were the most prized possessions. They only had those possessions. And her hair represents her beauty and youth. Della's hair, they reached down below her knees. Means she must have started it, growing it when she was very young. And she had a sentimental attachment, a sentimental value was there. But when it comes to give a gift to her husband, she sold her hair. And Jim's gold watch, he too had a sentimental value for it, which was passed to him from generation to generation, from his grandfather to his father, and then to him. And the watch, the gold watch, represents the ties to his family he grew up in. The watch, it represents time. And he had sold it for the sake of love to his wife. So this is the story, a short story. There is a climax in the story. So there is an session assignment. You will have to write an assignment on the themes of the gift of Magi, which we had discussed.